Here's an unpopular opinion, one that might make you uncomfortable at first. Mediocrity is underrated. Scroll through any social media feed and you'll see it. Everyone is screaming about being the best, crushing the competition, hustling 24/7. We're bombarded with morning routines that start at 4 a.m., highlight reels of promotions and product launches, and the relentless message that if you're not optimizing every second of your life, you're falling behind. The pressure is immense. It's a digital arena where everyone is expected to be a gladiator. But let's take a deep breath and be brutally honest with ourselves. The vast majority of us are not going to be billionaires, Olympic athletes, or revolutionary geniuses who change the course of history. Statistically, it's just not in the cards. And you know what? That is more than okay. In fact, I'm going to argue that embracing mediocrity might just be the secret to a genuinely great life. From a young age, we're sold this narrative that our value is conditional. It's tied to our performance. Get the best grades to get into the best college to get the best job. Then you need the best house, the best car, the best body, the best, most photogenic vacation. It's an endless checklist of exceptionalism. But this relentless pursuit of the best is a recipe for misery. It creates crippling burnout, a corrosive envy that poisons our relationships, and a permanent nagging sense of failure. You start to feel like you're constantly running a race you can never win, because the finish line keeps moving. Every achievement just unlocks a new, higher expectation. Think about it. For every CEO who makes the cover of a magazine, there are millions of dedicated employees keeping the company running. For every Michelin-starred chef, there are millions of parents making dinner for their families night after night. These aren't lives of failure. They are lives filled with purpose, connection, and quiet joy. They are the lives that form the backbone of our society. So in a world that screams for you to be extraordinary, choosing to be good enough is a quiet, powerful act of rebellion. It's a declaration that your worth isn't up for debate. And what does this rebellion give you? The most precious commodity of all, freedom. The freedom from the tyranny of perfection. When you're not desperately trying to be the best, you can actually enjoy the process. You can pick up a guitar and stumble through chords without needing to become a rock star. You can join a local sports team and lose most of your games, but still love the camaraderie. You can paint a messy, imperfect canvas and feel the simple joy of creating something. You can jog slowly in the park, not to break a personal record, but just to feel the sun on your face and your lungs fill with air. You can cook an average Tuesday night meal that won't win any awards, but it will nourish your body and bring your family to the table. Our culture tells us that every hobby needs to be a side hustle, every skill must be monetized, every moment must be optimized for peak performance and then glorified on Instagram. Mediocrity gives you permission to reject that. It whispers, relax. You don't have to perform, you're allowed to just be. You're allowed to have parts of your life that are just for you, with no agenda other than simple enjoyment. And here's the beautiful irony. The space that mediocrity opens up, that's where most of real, authentic life actually happens. Think about your most cherished memories. Are they about winning a major award? Or are they the quiet, ordinary moments? The late-night talks with a friend, the inside jokes that make no sense to anyone else, the comfortable silence you can share with a loved one. Friendships aren't forged in competition. They're built on a foundation of shared vulnerability and countless average days spent together. Families thrive on the small, repeated rituals, the Sunday morning pancakes, the bedtime stories, not on a constant string of grand, headline-worthy achievements. This applies even to the things we consider great. Progress, in science, art, and culture, rarely springs from a single flash of isolated genius. It's almost always the result of countless people doing mediocre work. It's thousands of failed experiments before a breakthrough. It's hundreds of rough drafts before a great novel. It's a community of artists all influencing each other, producing a lot of average stuff, which creates the conditions for something truly special to emerge. Mediocrity isn't the opposite of excellence, it's the necessary foundation for it. It's the practice, the repetition, the trial and error. It's the fertile soil in which the seeds of greatness can eventually sprout. So if mediocrity is the space for freedom, connection, and even progress, then maybe it's not the problem. Maybe the real problem is our dangerously narrow definition of success. We've been taught that success is a vertical climb, a ladder where you have to push others down to get to the top. But what if success isn't a ladder, but a landscape? What if it's not about outshining everyone, but about finding a place where you can thrive? What if success is building a life that feels so good on the inside, you don't feel a desperate need to escape from it on the weekends or through expensive vacations? What if mediocre is just another word for balanced? A life where you have enough time for your work, your health, your relationships, and your own quiet moments. It's a conscious refusal to sacrifice your well-being on the altar of ambition. It's choosing sustainability over a spectacular flameout. There is profound strength and wisdom in looking at your life, with all its imperfections and average parts, and saying, this is good, this is enough. There's power in being okay with being okay. Ultimately, embracing mediocrity is an act of self-compassion. It frees you from the exhausting, soul-crushing hamster wheel of constant comparison. It allows you to run your own race at your own pace. It gives you permission to be human, to live, to breathe, to connect, to laugh, and yes, to fail sometimes without the crippling weight of shame. Your value as a person is inherent. It is not measured by your productivity, your follower count, or your job title. You do not have to be extraordinary to be worthy of love, respect, and a happy life. So the next time you hear that voice, whether it's from the outside world or from inside your own head, telling you that mediocrity is poison, that you need to be more, do more, achieve more, take a breath, smile, and remember that burnout is a far more potent poison. So I'll ask you, in what part of your life could you give yourself permission to be joyfully, peacefully mediocre? What would you do if you weren't afraid of not being the best? Maybe, just maybe, the key to happiness isn't reaching the peak of the mountain, but learning to enjoy the beautiful, ordinary view from the middle. What do you think?